We definitely went and rebelled against the general consensus and did something that's very unglam and unsexy, right? Logistics is
like
barely
required, yeah.
Yeah, it's barely the sexy stuff, right? Your mom is either expecting you to be a lawyer, an engineer, or a financier in Wall Street.
Yeah.
You know, zero bragging lights if if your kids are like in logistics.
Yeah.
Right. So can you imagine the difficulty of that conversation when we told our parents? At the start, I was saying we were super scrappy. We didn't have a lot of capital starting this business, right? So we were the guys who were picking and packing, right? Back in the days, me and Tommy were the guys who were actually picking, packing those stuff, right? We were putting all-nighters. Imagine one day you get
It's like 100,000.
You know, that's insane. Like, how do you even compute that and solve that problem?
Hi everybody, welcome to Among the Strong Built Different. We are your hosts, Match and Timmy, and today we invite you to join us as we dive into the stories of trailblazers that are pushing boundaries and inspiring greatness. Today we are very excited to have with us on the show the founders of iStoreiSend, the largest fulfillment company in Southeast Asia. Please welcome Tommy and Joe.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for
Thank you.
having us. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank
in
you.
your warehouse in Klang.
Yeah.
I didn't really know where Klang was because I only stayed in one place in KL. But thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming all the way. I know it's a long ride from the city.
Yes. It's not bad. It's all right. It's all right. I thought it'd be longer because Match has told me it was going to be longer.
I actually thought it was like 1 hour.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, flight.
No traffic. With traffic, it will be longer.
Yeah. So why don't we start it off by giving them opportunity to introduce about iStoreiSend, how they started. So from what I know, iStoreiSend started about 12 years ago. Can maybe Joe and Tommy can tell us more.
You want to do first?
Sure, you go ahead.
Okay, all right. I think Match is right. We started maybe about 12, 13 years ago. We started, of course, as young punks who really don't know how hard this journey is going to be. But of course, through the challenges and all the ups and downs, we're here today. As Timmy mentioned, we're one of the largest fulfillment, and we are definitely the pioneer of fulfillment in Southeast Asia. The idea was really simple. We just wanted to kind of copy Amazon fulfillment services and kind of replicate their setup in Southeast Asia. That was really the genesis and the simple idea. And obviously, everything that looks simple turns out to be not as simple as what we think it is. Right? Today, we're in Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand. We serve a variety of brands. We act as like the background, the warehouse guys. So everything that you guys buy online, like so easy, like just clicking on your bed and your sofa. Yeah, some guy is actually doing the hard work to kind of buy it and pack it and make sure it gets shipped. And obviously, with the speed of internet and the speed of e-commerce, we're getting better every year and hopefully be able to ship to you guys, your products faster every year.
So when you talk about started 12, 13 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, e-commerce wasn't even a thing back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But not so much in
people doesn't shop online back in those days.
There are people shopping online. In Malaysia, there are platforms, forum.lawyat.
Dinosaur age.
Yeah, they will open a thread on the forum and say, WTS, want to sell? WTB, want to buy?
Oh, wow. I was very little at that time, 12, 13 years ago.
Then you have Lelong, Lelong.my. All right, so it's just that it wasn't really people don't really use it because e-com itself is split into three major things, right? One is the selling, which is the platform.
Yeah.
And then you have the payment gateway.
Yeah.
Right. Which of course collects the money.
Yeah.
And the last is the supply chain.
Yeah.
Right. The fulfillment and the delivery part. Right. Yeah. So we decided to go into that.
Yes.
Right.
But you guys didn't start off because you already told me you were a chemical engineer before you did this, and then you were
Econs and management.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Really?
Yeah, that
Which
makes
part
more
of
sense.
econs and management
Yeah.
jives with logistics?
No, but it's like business management. So I mean,
yeah.
business management.
Yes.
Like you're not creating your own like cardboard boxes here.
Yeah. So I think definitely like a lot of young people out there, they probably don't know what they want to do when they grow up, right? And especially, back in the days, the only thing, if you ask kids what do you want to do? I want to do something that makes the most money, right? Like everyone's kind of dream back in the days.
Back in those days.
Back in those days,
Yeah,
right?
these days are influencer.
Oh, of course,
YouTuber. Now I want to be a content creator.
yeah, it's much more
KOL,
different for sure,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but tell me about it. I have two kids right now.
They want to be KOLs.
I know. So things have changed for sure.
Yeah.
But we definitely went and rebel against the general consensus and did something that's very unglam and unsexy, right? Logistics is
It's like
barely
required, yeah.
yeah, it's barely the sexy stuff, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your mom is either expecting you to be a lawyer, an engineer, or
Yeah.
a financier in Wall Street.
Yeah.
Zero bragging rights if
Yeah.
if your kids are like in logistics.
Yeah.
Right. So can you imagine the difficulty of that conversation when we told our
You're like, we
parents?
want to go into
Yeah.
what's fulfillment?
You probably tell your parents fulfillment.
No,
You
they
are
have no
using the
idea.
term of fulfillment.
No
Mom,
idea.
I'm going to do fulfillment.
Fulfilling happiness.
No, I think we use the word. Even when we use the kind of broader term logistics, the first image that they thought about was like guys without shirt in
Oh, the
in
UPS.
in the port.
No, it's at the
Moving.
containers moving,
Oh,
loading,
okay,
unloading.
okay.
Yeah.
Truck drivers
Yeah,
loading,
yeah.
unloading.
Yeah, so like that is the kind of the stigma, right?
Yeah.
on Logistics is like a very, people without education or people who have no way to go, they go to logistics.
Yeah.
But I think what they didn't realize is logistics is going through a kind of a renaissance and a big change.
Yeah.
And thanks to, of course, e-commerce, right? Things are going much more complicated. A lot more technology gets involved.
Yeah.
And to kind of make modern logistics what it is today, there's a certain level of skill
Yeah.
set that you need to
Yeah.
have.
When would you say was your boom? Because I assume your boom is when I don't know when Lazada started, when Shopee started, because those are like the main not shipping but e-commerce.
I think before that
websites.
there was already a small boom. Living Social, Groupon, they were actually the first real push of e-commerce actually.
I always thought Groupon was like services.
Yes, but in Malaysia or in South Asia region,
Yeah.
they later introduced products,
Right.
and that actually contributed to more than half
Okay.
of the revenue.
Okay.
Right.
The first big product was power banks. Back in the days, everyone didn't know where to buy
Yeah.
power banks, and
Yeah,
power
yeah,
banks
yeah.
was super expensive.
Yeah.
Like power banks in group buying was like the
Yeah.
big thing.
But then I'm like, okay, honestly, I'm very curious because it's like, how did you start from? Because also Matt told me a bit of your history. Like you started from a tiny shop lot or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and now you're in basically Thailand, Indonesia, now here Malaysia, everywhere else. How did you? Okay, so, from the power bank thing to the Groupon thing, how did you get those deals? Did you have to do how much hustling did you have to do?
I think this is the benefit of being a pioneer,
Yeah.
right? That we were one of the very few options.
Right.
There were no one.
There are no other
Okay.
choices.
They-
There's no other
yeah.
choices, basically.
like Groupon was the pioneer in group buying, right? And Living Social was the at the
Shopping.
forefront. And when they were wanting to look at providers, even the fulfillment term was non-existent.
Yeah.
We were probably the only one using fulfillment in Google search that you could find back then, right?
Okay.
So then we were the only option. So then that's the kind of benefit.
So then what were your SEOs? Because you said you were the only one on Google. So what did you put? SEO. SEO, hashtag, I don't know,
No, but-
shipping, Southeast Asia Groupon, and then they find iStoreiSend, and then they'd be like, oh, okay, maybe we should use these guys.
I don't think it was an SEO thing. It's more like getting to know the people in the industry, right?
Right.
So they are. Because at the time the e-commerce or the internet or online selling circle is actually very small.
Yeah.
So when you get to know one, you technically will get to know the whole circle, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the circle is much bigger now, right? But it was at the time, right?
Yeah.
So other than not only were there not a lot of options, there were also not a lot of platforms.
Right.
So it is a sort of a smaller group,
Yeah.
right? And actually, nobody really knows how to do it.
Yeah.
At that time, not even just the fulfillment side,
Yeah.
but also on the selling side. So you have a lot of platforms that come and go, right? And there was also there are a few Malaysian ones, right?
Yeah.
Gem5, so on and so forth, right?
Okay.
So everybody didn't really know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I mean, everybody is learning. So I think that's why the people in the industry take time to learn, right?
Yeah.
Was that the reason why that you guys named the company called Store and Send? Just specifically tackle the store and send issue. I think back in those days, whenever you want to sell online, the only way you can do it is basically you store your
Yes.
goods at home
Yeah.
and then you pick and pack yourself. You go
Yeah.
to post office and stuff. So and naturally when you grow bigger, you tend to seek for
Yeah.
helps, right? It's either you hire you rent a warehouse and then you hire more people to manage your inventory,
Yeah.
and then hence this is why I think why you name your company.
No, I mean, I honestly thought it was still okay. So I never really knew about the fulfillment
Industry.
business or the industry, because like, okay, like if you go to a shop or whatever, like let's say you go to a pet store or you go to like even like a, I don't know, like Gamers Hideout or something, they'll always have like a corner of stock where it's meant for like sending.
Yep.
So I always thought that like they just like all these shops, even like Gamers Hideout is quite huge anyway. So they all have their own like they all ship by independently.
Yeah.
They wouldn't use like they wouldn't use a fulfillment center.
Yeah.
And like if you go maybe a bit more macro, like if it was Shopee or Lazada, they'd have their own warehouses as well,
Yeah.
and not use I guess they'd have their own fulfillment
Yeah.
instead of like a third party.
So I think definitely in Southeast Asia this is a fairly new concept, right? Outsourcing like warehousing, logistics.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people still own and operate their own warehouses, and they always thought that is the only way to do it. But to be honest, how much efficiency can you get out of your own operation?
Yeah.
Right. So definitely we are working on economies of scale here, right?
Yeah.
We are working on a larger footprint, right? So
Yes.
we can gain more efficiency, right? And I think the biggest problem is I don't think selling should be the guy who is selling, who loves the product and designing the product.
Yeah.
And I don't think they
Should be
are
dealing
they're
with
kind
the
of,
shipping.
yeah. I don't think their passion is like in pick and pack.
Right.
Right. I think they got into the business of
Yeah,
selling
yeah,
because
yeah.
they love their product,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They
yeah.
wanted to kind of tell the whole world what their product does
yeah.
and kind of keep getting better,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And a lot of them actually end up spending like 50% or even more of their time
Yeah.
worrying about all this kind of back end operation,
Yeah.
which then kind of stifle growth for them.
Yeah.
So we saw that as a problem, right?
Right.
That is definitely a problem that should be solved.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think a merchant, a product guy should be even worried about all this stuff. It should be kind of they should have a partner that help them.
Right.
And that's where we really come in.
Right.
I'm still quite amazed of how early you guys started the business.
Oh, so it's insane.
Yeah. I mean,
No, because if you're the first and you were like, okay, let's copy Amazon, but there was
There was
like-
no e-commerce.
yeah,
there was no Amazon.
that's why.
it was like it was like precognitive. It was
I-
like
I
it was
remember-
predicting like it happened.
I remember leaving social time was you have to go and pick up
Yeah.
from
I don't even know
the
what
office
living-
in
what's living
Mid
social.
Valley.
Yeah.
It's a Groupon.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically you have to go all the way to Mid Valley, one of the shop's house in the opposite Mid Valley.
And pick it up yourself?
Yeah. I've been once.
Yeah, man.
Many years ago. I've been
Okay.
once.
Those are good times, good times.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody ship it for you. Yeah, I was
Okay.
still amazed at how early you guys started the business.
Yeah. I think, Tommy, do you want to share how early it was?
I mean,
2012, 2013.
Actually, a little bit more earlier. So basically, we started where there wasn't really a real traction as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had to foray a little bit into some form of survival mode, right? To do
Yeah.
what we had to do. But basically, this concept really only kicked off with Groupon and Living Social.
Yes.
Actually, not the Lazadas and Shopees.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Did you see this iStoreiSend as like a side hustle first? Like, were you doing other things before? Because like,
Yeah.
No,
I said,
no,
I'm
no.
not
They
surprised
just
it
didn't want to
worked.
work in a family business, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
It's the escape route.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's it. I think number one, I think we're just young. We were just young. Number one, I think young people are just,
Stupid.
fearless.
Mm-hmm.
Right, fearless. And naive
Yeah.
and stupid, right? Which we were 100% that
Yeah.
back then. Right, because you think that this is going to be huge.
Yeah.
You have a certain conviction
Yeah.
that you believe this is going to be huge. And you
Yeah.
kind of see it happening in the States.
Yeah.
You see it happening in China, right?
Yeah.
Then you would think
No,
that
yeah, true. Yeah,
for sure, right?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we were super early.
Forward
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, we were super early. It didn't really come
Yeah.
into Southeast Asia
Yeah.
and Malaysia until maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Or even 5, right? After we set up.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I think we were really ahead in the game, really ahead.
Yeah.
And I think there is such a thing as YouTubing being too early, right? I think, but definitely it's not wasted. We took those 3-4 years of learning and really kind of grow our business from there.
Okay.
Made us what we are today. So definitely, for those that are chasing their dream, please make sure that you're at the right timing.
Timing is really important.
Yeah.
Or you need to have a lot of money.
I mean, back then we were scrappy.
Yeah,
we were
exactly,
super
yeah.
scrappy.
Yeah.
We were super
I'd
scrappy
imagine,
back then.
yeah.
Okay, so would you able to elaborate more in terms of sizings or number from like the first very small
damn.
shop lot and today? Let's say in
Wow.
terms of number lah. I mean, people will want to understand like how big you are grown into, right?
I think maybe just give a kind of a visual kind of imagination how different it was, right? Back in the days, we were still printing courier notes manually using dot matrix printers. For those who don't know what a dot matrix printer is, it's those printer that goes.
They still exist now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Carbon copy.
And they have like carbon copy.
Yeah, carbon.
Like so definitely it's like a white paper and a red paper and a blue paper.
Yeah.
And it goes printing like non-stop, right? So back then when you came to us, when we were kind of exploding, right, growing with Living Social, we had like 5 printers that were printing non-stop. Yeah, exactly. But
Right.
then there was no technology to integrate with the last mile. There was no technology to get information from the platform. Everything was semi-manual back then, right? And today, obviously, that semi-manual kind of process, you can imagine how much can you do? Maybe a 500 a
Yep.
day, 1,000 a day. So today we're sitting in one of our largest fulfillment center. It's about 200,000 square feet. Our daily volume is probably close to about 50 to 60,000 items a day, right? Can you imagine if we were to rely on printers, they will not be able to scale.
Yeah.
Right? Things have changed, technology have changed,
Yeah.
and the whole landscape has changed. The whole industry has matured. You know, we have really gigantic companies coming in, Alibaba
Yeah.
and Tencent. Right, these are all very different. You know, back in
Yeah.
10 years ago, it was super manual.
But you still don't have carbon copy, right? That's the only machine printer can do, right?
Yeah, so now
We
we
have to print 4 times now.
no. So now
No.
it's everything digital, bro.
Yeah.
So it's everything digital.
Talking about like, having all these big companies coming in, and then it's also like improving efficiencies, and it's also technologies because you're lauded for your WMS, warehouse management system. But how does it make you, because I'm assuming, okay, Amazon and whatever, they all have their own, right? So how does your system, I guess, is it like
Stand out?
What makes it, what makes it stand out? What makes it unique?
Yeah, definitely. I think Tommy can share more.
Well, it's
Speech.
Yeah.
it's
No,
built-
no.
It's very Southeast Asian, uniquely Southeast Asian.
Okay.
Right. So I think when people talk about WMS, you have like in the US and in the China, right,
Yeah.
where the scale is different,
Yes.
right? The population, the market cap,
Yeah.
it's all very different. So
Yeah.
so you build it for that kind of size.
Yeah.
But Malaysia, I mean, our population is 30 million, right? It's 30 more than 30 times smaller than even China, right? So having the same system might not work or won't work because the scale, the culture and
Yeah.
everything. Surprisingly, yes, system also involve culture, right?
Yeah.
For example, the work culture of the people, right? So on and so forth. So that requires a localization of the system, and that's where we are different. I mean, yes, anybody can port in the system from China or from the US, right? It may not 100% fit what is how to be the best use in here. So this is where we see in a lot of industry, not just our industry, right? So that's why you always see, like for example, uniquely, right? In Malaysia, everybody is on motorbikes, right? But that may not be in other countries, right? So there is a reason why it's a little bit different. Culturally speaking, it's a little different. The system requirements, the scalability, and that's where we believe we are strong at because it's made by the warehouse people operating in the warehouse for the warehouse,
Right.
in Southeast Asia.
It's a sales speech, right?
No. It's a lot of sweat and tears because you are the guy. Because at the start I was saying we were super scrappy. We didn't have a lot of capital starting this business, right? So we were the guys who were picking and packing, right? Back in the days, me and Tommy were the guys who were actually picking, packing those stuff, right? We were putting all-nighters. I remember the first 11/11.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Uh-huh.
It was insane for us. right? The first day that we got like a 50x job. Let's say if our normal processing is 1,000 orders, imagine one day you get
It's like 100,000.
You know, that's insane. Like, how do you even compute that and solve that problem?
Yeah.
I remember that very clearly and vividly. We were so stressed out. Like, all-nighters was a need. We had double shift. We were working so hard, and then those are things that we realized that certain things could be done easier, right? Maybe getting from point A to point B, we didn't have to press so many buttons. We didn't have to do all these things. When we keep simplifying it and making it easy so that we ourselves don't have to suffer it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how we kind of continue building that product. We build it so that it's user friendly. It's definitely much more simple and easy to use so that the user doesn't have to suffer. And we always believe in that, right? There's a lot of tools we try to use outside. They require you just to ask, click 3-4 times to complete one thing when it can be so simply done, right? So we really focus on that.
I guess I sort of want to go back further into the past, because we talked about how you started in a shop lot, and then and then we also talked about how you're a chemical engineer, and then you were just doing econs and management. But how did you guys meet?
No, you can take it.
Okay, cool. Right, no. We go super way back. We started from primary school.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, we started from like standard 5, standard 6, right? Like
Yeah.
back we were same school for all the Pui Chai alumni. Yay. Right. So me and Tommy, we used to go to the same school. Of course, not in the same class, right? But we were kind of both same place, and we got connected. And this is something that you guys definitely don't know. Game books. If anyone know what is a game book?
Like strategy guides?
So it's a book, like where you read, and then you have to kind of flip pages to get to the next series. Like, it'll tell you, what is happening right now. Do you choose A and B? If you choose A, you jump to page 135.
Okay.
And then B, you jump to like we.
What, you made your own, or you?
No. They were
Okay.
like series, right?
Okay.
And those books were expensive, super expensive.
Yeah.
And Tommy has the best collection, right? So.
No, it's not mine. It's not mine.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Like RPGs lah, like basically.
RPG before RPG, right?
Yeah.
But like in flipping, right? So
Yeah,
you get like
yeah.
this thick book, 300 pages, and then it's so expensive. We wanted to kind of trade between us, and we really bonded over fantasy books. Tommy is a huge collector of fantasy books, right? And obviously I always pinjam his stuff, right? And I think still today, Tommy still read a lot of this stuff, right? And no, it's great. It's great. I love it. I think I would love it if my daughter be able to kind of pick up that hobby as well, right? So that was how we kind of started, and ever since then we bonded over games, and obviously we were hardcore.
A lot of games.
Yeah, a lot of games, right? We were hardcore
But none
StarCraft
anymore.
players, right?
StarCraft,
StarCraft.
Warcraft.
Okay.
Yo, man, those are the good days, man. StarCraft 1.
How did COVID affect you? How like the boom in AI? How is it aiding you or not aiding you?
COVID was a game changer. Not only just like for the whole industry, but also for us internally, because it really put the spotlight on e-commerce.
Yes.
It really put the spotlight on the importance of logistics, right? And of course, it was a difficult time for everyone. And then we really had to kind of learn how to operate and grow within the constraint of 60% labor, 40% labor, social distancings, and all this stuff. And those were really what it really did for the entire industry, which we still believe in today, is that you have to innovate as a company. And that's where I think the live streaming will come in, and all the AI stuff that we're trying to do right now, and the technology. So it's all about innovation, right? Innovate, especially important in the nowadays days where things are just moving so fast.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't innovate, you are going to be out of the market very soon, right? And then that's why I think COVID was a first accelerant. After that, we also importantly knew about the community, right? How important this is about partnership. You can't just grow alone, right? How can we grow with other warehouses? That's when we started to work with other warehouses, right?
Yeah.
We started to kind of democratize our technology stack so that other warehouses could use it, right? Work with partners to grow faster, to serve the market. And then obviously, you know, one thing leads to another. We keep on thinking how we can push the edge and innovate beyond that.
Yeah.
And maybe Tommy, you know, can share our recent foray into live streaming, right?
Yeah, I think what causes us to think about this is it's not just really diversification itself. It's more like what the market needs. Right.
Okay.
So the changes in the market
Right.
is actually the main driver
Right.
of any change in the company, right?
Yeah.
You can innovate, but if there's no real need for it, your innovation
Yeah,
won't
but
go
right,
anywhere. Right. So I think what we took an approach was we see what the market is gonna need in the next 1-2 years or 5 years, and in fact don't even look 10 years down the road because things are changing so fast.
Yes.
Right. If you think about it, like for example, we take TikTok, right? Nobody would have thought TikTok would have taken the world by storm, right? Almost everyone is on TikTok
Yes,
now.
yeah.
Below the age of 30,
Yeah.
everyone's on TikTok. Sorry, I don't think anybody. If they ask you, do you have Facebook, and you say yes, they say, look, you're too old.
Yeah,
Let's not kid ourselves.
I still have Facebook.
I still have That's it.
Yeah.
You're young.
Facebook, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this has changed the world in a way.
Yeah.
Social media, even today, as where we are today doing this
Yeah.
this podcast now, this thing is all because of the social platform that's now readily available for anyone to do. Right. This has not been. Think about it. This kind of platform don't exist 5 to 7 years ago. Don't even talk about 10 years ago. Right. So it has come to where there's this platform where anybody can do anything that they want. Right.
Okay.
So that changes the entire industry.
Yeah.
Because if you can start something directly and you don't need to go through a long process, that means the supply chain, the payment, everything is affected. So we are looking that in the next step, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a game changer. Like, I mean, think about it, right? Even for example, those are right. You know, the way that they approach the market now is different, right?
Yeah.
Last time you talk about your billboards,
Yeah.
your TV, your radio, or your SEOs, SEM.
Yes. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
they're sponsoring podcasts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have imagined people
Yeah.
like to watch people talking on the TV.
Have you guys
Yeah,
seen the statistics on podcasts? Podcasts is growing insane.
Yeah,
Hello.
I'm actually, we're actually quite surprised. We're actually quite surprised.
No, I think I stopped listening to radio already. Like my now main consume media
Yeah.
on the car, it's Spotify. It's podcasts.
So I think because of all this, that's why we need to think what's next, right? To think what can we do? Because yes, you can say warehouse or fulfillment is just placing of goods, moving of goods.
Yeah.
But how to move the goods and why does the goods move this way, or why is it required to move this way, is based by external factors, right? The environment of the retail environment, of the commerce environment, right? So we would have, who would have thought, you can buy stuff from US or even China that arrives in 3 days,
Yes.
right?
Oh, thanks to iStoreiSend.
I'm not going to claim
Industry effort.
it's an industry effort, yes. But things are changing, right? So, I mean, just thinking about that, it's like, who would have imagined flying would be so commonplace
Yeah,
now
yeah.
versus 15 to 20 years ago, right? So, these are the things that result in people able to do things more directly, cutting closer, bringing closer everything.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
we gotta change. Any business has to understand the way. Come on, even the most traditional way of business, property. Now, sales,
Yeah.
property selling is now going online,
Yeah,
doing video, short clips, ring house tour, selling to 100 audience at the same time rather than one by one doing a vid. Times have changed.
Yeah.
We need to adapt to it.
Yeah.
We don't, other people do it, you are out.
Yeah.
I think it comes back to me and Tommy's kind of nature.
Yeah.
Right. We've always been a bit of a rebel, right? And I think most entrepreneurs have a bit of rebel in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
kind of fight against the system, right?
Yeah.
So what we really want to do is we wanted to see if we can help smaller businesses, smaller SMEs, smaller enterprises, startups, right? Kind of be able to reach that, more level playing field, right? In general business, right? Because right now, if you think about it, if it's a small business, if there was no existence of iStoreiSend or industry players like us, they would have to kind of invest into their own warehouses and hire their
Yeah.
own people, and that is not an efficient way, right? And they will have to kind of go and get money and loan and all that just to put on all these things. Whereas the big guys, they have all this done already.
Yeah.
They can reach everywhere, almost at the most cost-effective way, right? And that's because they have the volume, they have the infrastructure built. What we hope to do over the next and since the beginning is to build this infrastructure where many can benefit, not only a few, but many. Any entrepreneurs, we have no, we have no minimum. If you
Yeah.
do 1 order a day, you're our client. You do 1,000 orders, you're our client.
Yeah.
Right. So we've kind of built that that kind of spirit in it, right? And obviously, the company has grown since then, and it is at the back of a lot of all these small brands that really helped us, and we
Yeah.
are so, I guess, enriched as well, right?
Yeah.
In
Because-
looking at this success of these people.
Because this small brands, 5 years, 7 years, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, right? They are now big.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So because we grow together with them, right?
Shout out to our brands.
And now they are bigger than iStoreiSend.
Of course, a lot of
some of them, some of them.
Yeah, quite
Right.
a number of them are
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
bigger. So it's actually great because seeing, I mean, from Malaysia, from Malaysians able to step up and go
We're proud.
regional, right? Not for our brands, for the
Okay.
clients, or even Malaysian brands that are generally doing very well, regionally speaking, right?
Okay.
You know, it's something to be proud of.
We are very proud of all our client success.
So other than all this, are there any juicy story to share?
I mean, we can share generally. It's been tough. It's been a tough 10 years, right?
Okay.
We have ups and downs, and then
Okay.
we have many opportunities along the way,
Okay.
right? We can talk about it. I mean, generally. So generally, right?
Okay.
No specific.
No specifics.
No specific. Sure.
Okay.
Right. So I think one thing that people ask me, and I've mentioned this a few times, right? They say, hey, you know what, Joe, what's so special about the entrepreneur journey? I think number one is you really get to go into a vantage point that very few people are able to access, right? Just for instance, back in the days when we were super naive and young, right? We don't do our homework. We meet people that are big guys, and we have no idea what their background is, right? And we will do silly things, right? So I remember vividly a meeting we did with one of the top guys, one of the top guys. And we didn't really knew how big this guy is. And we were challenging him, asking him to work on a Saturday just to meet us.
Okay.
Right, it's insane. Right?
Okay.
Like nobody asked this guy. It's like trying to ask like Elon Musk, instead of me coming to you, you come to me because I have no time. Right?
Right.
Obviously, but back then you were young, right?
Yeah.
You were young and you were naive, right? You would do this kind of things.
Yeah.
But that was really something that is an experience, right? But entrepreneurship, really gave us an advantage point that was very different,
Yeah.
right? And I think Match will probably be going towards the asking about some of the more interesting
Yeah,
tidbits.
they are. I mean, not just from that perspective, right? They are also probably from clients, right? So when you go for a MNC trying to get their business,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes, actually, most of them won't entertain you. But I had an opportunity to actually speak to an MNC's high-level management guy,
Uh-huh.
trying to pitch iStoreiSend service. Honestly, he said, when I stepped in, he said, look, you're not gonna get this.
Oh, okay.
Just upfront and say, and I'm like, okay, but does it mean that I come in and you want? I said, no, I think what you're doing is good, right? But you're too small.
Yeah.
That's it, you're too small. I don't think you can cope with our skill. I said, yes, I can get the people. Yeah. Then he said, look, it's a very simple question. The amount of stocks that we are putting in your warehouse and everything, is your company even able to afford the liability? This is a very simple question.
Your iStoreiSend can
Yes,
afford the
yeah.
liability. Okay.
Yes. Can we even afford it? All right.
Right. Okay.
So, or then and I'm like, I can try. You can't.
yeah.
You can't. That's
Yeah.
it.
No one wants to hear. I can try.
Yeah, I can try, but that's it. Look, it's not that I have something against you. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So and that's when I know that it's he was actually willing to take the time to tell. I'm
Yeah.
actually grateful for it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's actually something that shows that it's not that sometimes it's not the big companies that don't want to give us the opportunity. It's because we are also not there yet. And you have to understand, or we have to understand that if they give us the opportunity, that means they are putting out their neck for us.
Yes.
And in a corporate world is very ruthless.
Yeah.
Right. It's really expecting too much from them. So I actually left and feeling that, hey, you know, maybe it's time to take the step by step, find the right businesses to grow. When I'm there someday, I'm actually I'm go back and thank him. It's not about, hey, you know, I'm big now. No, it's not. But it just shows that there are different stages. That's why there's SMEs.
Do you go back to him now?
MNC.
Yeah.
No.
We
We are not that
Now you're
size
too
yet.
big.
No.
You're
we're
still not that size yet.
No. No, because you know, even like they're SMEs.
Yeah.
MSMEs, micro SMEs.
Yeah.
And then there are the MNCs, and then they are between SME and MNC. There's others. So different business, different size, right? To be very honest, we call ourselves an SME lah. Let's not
We are.
think too big. But
Yeah.
So I think it's a good learning experience, and this is something that I don't think, you know, by just being an entrepreneur, I was able to see it from that perspective.
Okay.
And I really thank him for giving that time. He can just say, no, I'm not going to see you.
Yeah.
Right, but he gave that time at 30 minutes and tell me, where is it? So
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least I know where do I stand and how to get there.
That was actually a very good storytelling. Like, what about the bad ones?
The what?
The bad ones.
Oh.
Those are.
All right.
Uplifting, inspirational.
All right. Maybe I'll share a bit, right? I think there are certain things that we regret. We definitely regret, right? Some of the opportunities that were given to us that we regret. It's just the way we've handled certain things. Let's say an opportunity comes to your hand in you're young, right? And you have no. I mean, today is very different. Today, there's so many communities around the entrepreneurs. There are mentors, there are societies, there's Endeavor, there's all this kind of group that can help entrepreneurs. You can gain access to knowledge. Easy, and today with AI, guys, so easy. Just ask them questions, how to do these things. Back in the days when you were kind of given a whole stack of legal paper, dude, you'll be scared shitless, man, because you don't even know, like you're going through every single word. You were thinking, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was just way a lot of ignorance, right? And young, right? And you weren't able to experience enough to know what can be done.
Yeah.
What can be done, right, to make it better. And we obviously learned it the hard way. I mean, over the years, we got a bit wiser, right? But a lot of these things are actually not that difficult. A lot of things can be solved. But when we were looking at those situations, we think that it's really difficult. But a lot of things, I think, the audiences should know, nothing is not negotiable. Everything can be. Every problem has a solution. As long as we talk about it and communicate about it and learn about it, I think that can be changed. A lot of times people are young and afraid to negotiate and talk back or
Step up.
like step up and ask,
Or they think that,
this thing can only be done
you know, or they think that, they're on top of the world. I mean, young,
Yeah.
you have that kind of fearlessness as well. So right,
Yeah.
no right or wrong. It's just they have that. But
Yeah.
I mean, as
It's a
you
journey.
experience and you have
A
that,
journey.
so you will see the world from a different perspective, right?
Yeah, and I have this advice for people who are going through fundraising. I know there's a bit of a fundraising winter right now, but for young people who are entrepreneurs who are looking for funds, there's so many avenues these days, and again, a lot of people can give you advice. My advice is really some of the bad deals and the opportunities that we did not, really capitalize better, right? It was because it's just, our green and inexperience in fighting for or asking for the things that we would feel that we want, right? And when you're young, you're thinking like, people are giving you a lot of money, you shouldn't even ask for much, right? And what's fair? What's the norm? There was no norm.
Yeah.
Right. So what I can advise now is reach out to people, right? For people with more experience, and they could probably give you contacts and help you. And I think generally, Malaysian are just very helpful people. I've met so many business people, and Tommy can share it as well. We've met so many mentors along the way. They were so generous. Nobody is asking for anything in return.
Yeah.
They're just trying to guide the young generation. And of course we we will love to be able to do the same. So if anyone has any issues that is pertaining to business, we're happy to kind of help out for sure.
Yeah. We'll leave your contact details.
Call this number, Joe.
Okay, AI.
All right, AI, right? So let's talk about AI. I think the fear in the room and the fear in the world is like AI is going to take away all our jobs, and
Yes.
no one's going to get a job. It's going to be a massive recession. I don't think I sit in that camp.
I don't think AI can do.
But I mean,
Robotic.
It-
Robotic.
in due time.
Yeah, robotics are. Yeah, like I guess you say it's not Southeast. It's not specifically Southeast Asian enough.
Our eye is not there
But I guess
yet.
AI would be able to help with.
Yeah,
the
for sure. I think
software and
generally
stuff.
the world is moving towards more and more automation. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously, we start seeing a lot of automation done in the manufacturing space.
Yeah.
Right. Tesla, right? Mostly automated assembly line. Right. I think that it's the future. We are all progressing, but I don't think there will be no jobs for human.
Yeah.
Prompter.
Not only that, right? Because the things that people want is unlimited. What you want and what we want is unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? If you go back 10, 20 years ago, what we are having today, emperors are envious of our lifestyle. Access to clean water, being able to have a chill beer anytime you want, just go to a refrigerator. Back 100 years ago, where got a refrigerator? Right?
Yeah.
So, but then it will just evolve. People will evolve to do more things that human wants
And ask
beyond
more.
the basics. People will start thinking about, I want to have access to podcasts that talk about businesses
Yeah.
with genuine people, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just the schedule programming.
Yeah.
That is something that 10, 20 years ago, nobody can imagine,
Yeah.
right? So now, again, things are changing, right? And AI is a big changer, extreme big changer. And we talk about vibe coding, right? The ability to give people the ability to code and create technology
knowledge.
products, just technology solutions to solve their everyday problem,
Yeah.
right? It's very real. It is very real, right? So, but does this mean that the need for technology is going to be non-existent? I think that's opposite will happen. I think the need for technology will explode, right? And that's where I think we are coming in. We are coming in. I think AI does a big unleash, a democratization of the technology. Some of the biggest technology solution that is way out of reach of the SMEs back then, like few 100,000 solutions, things that cost $1 million or $100,000.
Yeah.
I think we are able to provide that at a much more easier way today. And that's where we are heading towards.
Yeah.
Right. Over the years, we've built a technology stack that was pretty much in-house for us, for our own use, called Odin. Right. Today, we are on the path of making it into the hands of consumers, right? And SMEs, make it much more accessible for everyone. And that's the big push, right? And obviously, I've always believed that one of the greatest thing about AI is that it now makes it even easier for people to use, right? I want to envision a future where we can talk to our system, talk to our WMS, talk to our ERP system,
Right.
and get answers.
Right.
Instead of having to click here and there, you need to do all this reporting, put it to Excel,
Yep.
the BI dashboard, and then you have an analysis team to tell you what's up with what's up. Imagine the future and just can, hey, Odin, what's my sales today? How is it going? Right? Is there any gaps?
Yeah.
Right? Is there anything that is running low that I need
Yeah.
to purchase?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they'll just come out with the answer.
Yeah.
That is where we imagine what we want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, I think you can have a PA and also a computer system to achieve what you want.
Actually, now there are system out there that is AI for
Yeah.
PA.
Ah.
Yeah?
AI for idiots.
No.
What?
Personal assistants.
Oh, okay.
Personal assistants.
So you don't need to hire a PA.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just get an AI.
Yeah.
And you talk to AI, it gets everything done.
Yeah. No. Okay, fine. That I think it's. I guess you can substitute, but it's like I think other things. What I'm not sure if they do it now because I didn't check myself. But what ChatGPT is doing now is like if you ask it for medical advice or legal advice, they'll be like, "Oh, we can't give you legal advice on this or whatever. Please consult a professional." So I'm not sure I personally would rely on AI to, I guess if you're asking, oh yeah, how am I doing now? I guess a snapshot is okay, but when you're like, oh yeah, can you work out the accounts and whatever?
I think the trust.
I'd be like,
right? I think what you're talking about is trust.
It's also
probably not there yet,
alternative
yeah.
source information.
No, I actually think of it a different way, right? AI, like for example, if you think about legal, right? So having AI to vet through the legal or whatever, it's
Yeah.
just as a advisory role, right?
Yeah.
It's not supposed to take it word for word.
Yeah.
You still need to go to a person,
Pro, yeah.
a professional
Yeah.
that will give you that thing, right? Because AI, you can't take AI and it's legally binding and say, look, this is what AI said
yeah.
and correct, right?
You can't blame the AI.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe 30 years from now, 50 years different now, right?
Yeah,
But for now, no. So I don't think jobs will be replaced by AI, but it's just that how do we adopt AI into the job?
Yes, true.
That on the other hand is, I think, a lot that it can be done.
Yeah.
So even for us, like when we talk about AI in the warehouse, it's not about, hey, I'm gonna don't have anyone do. No, it's not. It's about how do I make that person's work
Easier.
Yeah.
more efficient.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be encumbered by, things that an AI
Yeah.
can help them.
Yeah.
Right. So that kind of thing will help. And I don't think is a job replacement. I think about it. I mean, if you talk about fridge just now, right? 150 years ago, people are selling ice.
Yes.
Right. Taking an ice block,
Digging into
and
the
then,
ground.
selling to your house, right?
7-Eleven.
Yeah. But now it's refrigerator. But you still need someone to service the refrigerator, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To fix the refrigerator, right?
Prompter?
Prompter.
Yeah.
So it's always just a matter of how to use the tools. There was this thing that I saw, which I think I saw in China, right? So China has actually rolled out, I think with Alibaba or something, right? Online AI classes. So the AI classes is not to teach you about AI, but teach you how to use AI in your job. And once you learn how to, it's not expensive, that online course. So when you take it, you're guaranteed a job in 200 over companies.
Oh.
So it's just a matter of whether you want to take it
Yeah.
and then get a job placement. I mean, we're not talking about high paying, but at least you get a job.
Yeah.
So if you feel, in China.
Interesting.
So if you're afraid of not having the skill set, no, anybody can learn.
Yeah.
And why not? It's just a few thousand to
Yeah.
pay, and then you get a job.
I think Tommy hit the nail on this, right? It's about adoption, right?
Yeah.
It's about adoption. I think Malaysia, we can't be the guy who's inventing all the cutting edge LLM, but we can definitely play a part in adoption, right? If we can get enough of our people to adopt it fast enough, we will be ahead.
Yeah.
Right? This is a game about adoption. How fast can everyone adopt it faster?
Technology.
Right. So if we can get all our kids and all the younger generation and everyone, even the old guys like us,
Yeah.
40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus. I met a guy who's 60 plus who's teaching me about notebook LM the other day. Showing me about, how AI
I don't
helps
even know
his
what that
job.
is. Notebook LLM.
Notebook LM.
LLM.
Right.
What?
It's a Google product. It helps you create slides.
Oh.
Right.
Okay,
and
okay,
it's
okay.
he was teaching me
okay.
about it. It was like, oh my god, you're 60 and you're teaching me about AI.
Yeah.
Using
And there is no excuse for young guys like us not to embrace it.
Yeah.
Yep. Agree.
Yeah. Cool. So we have reached the game segment of the interview. So as we did the last time, each game is catered to, I guess, the guests that we interview or do podcasts with. And this time, since we're in iStoreiSend's flagship fulfillment center, we are going to play a packing game, my favorite type of packing games. Yay! So how are we going to do this? I guess Match and I are in one team, and then you guys are on a
Let's see who
team and see who
can pack more.
can pack the most shit. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Okay, let's
Okay.
do it. Each of us are getting a pro so that we're not like fish out of water. So yeah, we'll see.
Can I solve a pro?
So
No.
no, cannot. Welcome to the iStoreiSend fulfillment center. We are going to be fulfilling your order for
Today?
Karen. Karen, we're fulfilling your order now. You know whose hands have been all over it? Oh shit. Okay, so.
Okay, give me the, no. I need the
These are-
paper.
Oh, okay.
All right. So then we scan to initiate.
Thank God.
Okay. Good damn.
Do you know what to do or not?
Okay.
It's okay. I've got it. I got it.
Okay. Oh shit! Wait. I need to scan the item.
Oh no.
This thing is so hard to use.
Okay, put inside.
Hey, damn! Screw it. Wait. Okay, one done. Let's go.
done. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So it should be
Quality.
quality versus quantity. What's iStoreiSend's motto?
Fulfilling happiness.
Okay.
Okay. Relax.
Do we put it back or we don't need to put it back?
No, where's the paper? No, wait, we don't need the paper back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, give me the paper. Alright, cool.
Okay. Then we take the next one. Starter box lagi ya? Starter box lagi ya?
Oh no.
Do that. Manually.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Almost there.
Come on. Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
Yes!
No. 3.
Yeah!
Yeah.
You got 3?
Okay, there to finish the work properly.
How many bones do I have?
Take the company.
Close
Yeah.
it.
Company.
Oh, okay. So the company goes to Joe and Timmy.
Yay!
Bye, Tommy.
The new
This is a table lamp made of marble from our
Yo.
first guest, Charles, the
Ah.
podcast. Charles.
You take it out, you take it
Oh.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say thank you to-
Thank you.
Let's
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you to
Thank you,
Charles. This is for our next guest.
Our next gift
blind
exchange.
box.
A blind box containing iStoreiSend clients merchandise.
No, shake a bit.
Shake a bit.
It's not empty, okay?
Hear that?
Where's our lucky
So
next
if,
guest?
if the next year get empty, we know who did something lah. Not us lah. Right?
Yeah.
that you've learned.
No worries. We're very legit. Yeah, no worries. But I can tell it's the same size as a PlayStation. So, so our next guest.
You're probably
Yeah,
getting a
you know,
PlayStation.
yeah, if you want to get a PlayStation, come be a next guest. Yeah.
Alright.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
guys.
Bye. See you next time.
As an entrepreneur, you need a good night's sleep so you can tackle the daily challenges. And that's why you drink
Doze
Off for a good night's sleep. Cheers. It's pretty good.
It tastes good. It tastes good.
I'm having the peach flavor.
Yeah.
They have only one flavor.
More flavors to come. Yeah.
Where is it available?
Pharmacy.
It's available in all major pharmacy. and
Available in all
major-
major pharmacy near you. Doze off.
This can be the commercial.
Yeah.